Mark, what is new and spanking and fresh and real?
Well, yeah, all of those words are interesting. So Lilo and Stitch, which is the latest in Disney's kind of rather pointless project to produce live action in inverted commas versions of its back catalogue. So whether that means like the photorealist animations or actual live action, but with animation in it. So you've seen the original Lilo and Stitch, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I met with the director who voiced Stitch.
Yes,
and
who voices Stitch again this time around?
Okay.
Chris Sanders,
Chris Sanders, that's it. Yeah,
Wild
Robot.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So the first Lilo and Stitch is a really weird film. It's very strange, 85 minutes long, classified U, although if you remember, they had to cut it because there was a scene in which someone's hiding in a washing machine and it was considered to be dangerous behavior. So
yes.
they had to cut that. But anyway, it's a really, really odd film. And the animation in it is very interesting because it's a mix of styles. And I remember being a bit flummoxed by it originally, but actually kind of, over the time it's become a real favorite. Are you a fan of it, of the original?
I wouldn't say it's up there with my favorites at all, but having had kids at the right age for it, what I really did note, I think it's possibly one of the strongest sort of merchandise creating films of that canon because the little alien is so cute. So it just sort of transcends the movie and, a massive success in that respect.
But the weird thing is that in the original movie, Stitch is an absolute agent of chaos. Is not cute, really. Yeah. Is actually kind of, very, very and oddly dangerous and scary. So anyway, this new version, 20 minutes longer, also rated U, doesn't add much to the original, but does lose quite a lot, not least that weird hybrid of the animation and also the genuine sort of chaos of the anti-hero. So this is directed by Dean Fleischer Camp, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Chris Sanders reprising the voice role as Stitch. So Maya Kealoha is Lilo, who's the young girl living with her older sister, desperately trying to take care of her, hold their lives together, which of course becomes much more difficult when Lilo's prayers for a true friend are answered by something that everyone claims is a dog, but isn't a dog, is in fact a weapon built from outer space. Here's a clip.
Oh, what is that?
A dog, I think.
Looks like some kind of baby bear that come out of the trash.
I like him. Come here, boy.
Yeah, let's put this one back, Lilo.
Come here.
Sweetie.
We do have better dogs, like way better.
Not better than him. She can talk. Say hello.
Hello. Dogs no can talk.
Dogs can't talk, Lilo.
Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Tia Carrere is the social worker who's insistent that Lilo is going to have to be taken into custody. Courtney B. Vance is the federal agent who's trying to take Stitch into custody. Billy Magnuson and Zach Galifianakis are the extraterrestrials hunting down Stitch. And then we have Hannah Waddingham, who is, space imperious in the way that only Hannah Waddingham can be. So all the kind of original elements are there, the Hawaiian setting, the weird Elvis gags, the chaos of Stitch, the lure of surfing. And honestly, whilst I was watching it, I kind of quite enjoyed it. However, I can't help thinking, what's the point of this? I don't really know what the point of any of these remakes is. What this does do is, the young star, the person who plays Lilo, is great, and he does a really, really good job, and is very, very young and very good on camera. The plot still makes no sense whatsoever because people look at Stitch and go, "It's a dog." You go, "It's not a dog. It's standing upright, it's blue, and it's talking. It's not a dog," okay? Which is fine in a sort of, in an animated cartoon, but in a sort of live action, in inverted commas, setting, it does make you think even more, it's not a dog. And I did spend a lot of it wondering why everyone was just going, "Oh, okay, that is a dog." The main change is that this is more overtly sentimental than the original. And I can sort of see that could be charming. I mean, I can imagine people going to see this and liking it very much. I can imagine, parents and kids having a bonding experience, because all the messages about, family is about not letting anybody go and not leaving anybody behind and everybody moving on. And there's a lot of that stuff. What you don't have are the slightly alarming elements of the original, which actually are the thing that made the original stand out a little bit, because the original was so peculiar. And I keep coming back to this. Why do we need this? And the reason is because it's incredibly saleable. And Disney have just figured that this is the future. The future is simply go through the back catalogue and redo it in inverted commas live action. And so, like I said, it's softer. It's lost some of the rough edges of the original, which actually I think made the original interesting. It's not bad. There's a couple of jokes that I laughed at, and it's fine. It's nothing more than fine, but it will do well.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I mean, I feel exactly the same as you about these remakes, and I try and get inside my my child mind. And I remember when I was little, children's TV. There was so much great children's TV, but I would only watch live action shows if there was absolutely no cartoons left to watch. Like as a kid, it's cartoons first, right? Above everything else, because the bright colors, anything can happen in a cartoon. Children's imaginations are absolutely limitless, and a cartoon can reflect that. Anything can happen, And
and I mean, in a world in which you have Ghibli and you have such an amazing it just seems like a strange project. I don't know that I've ever seen one of these live action adaptations that has made me think that's better than the original. Exactly. All you think is it's a way of repackaging and reselling the original. Like I said, in the case of this, it has taken some of the madder edges off the original. It was funny. I went back to my review of the original, and I was quite alarmed by it because because the thing is, Stitch is a weapon. Stitch is just absolute agent of scary chaos. But this is much more. And there's loads of cute moments in this, and I'd be lying if I told you that there weren't moments that I kind of welled up, because it's like. It's there's a lot of sisterly love, and there's a lot of bonding, and there's a lot of people discovering their true selves and all that sort of stuff. There's just not a lot of imagination.
And that is the ultimate irony, when your audience has limitless imagination and you do something that really lacks any kind of original thought. This is a product that already exists anyway.